This wasn't just a robbery. This was the most calculated train heist in history. And even today, 90% of the money has never been found. This money belonged to the banks. 2.6 million pounds. It was being transported to London by train, but before the train ever reached the city, something happened. Something so precise, so silent, that it stunned the entire world. In just 15 minutes, 2.6 million pounds vanished. No gunshots, no alarms, no explosions, and yet it became the largest train robbery in history. People everywhere asked the same question. How could thieves pull this off, despite heavy security? Because this wasn't just any train. This was the story of Britain's Royal Mail train. There was a time when England operated a legendary train. It was called the Royal Mail train. Every night it carried thousands of letters, packages, and official government mail. To the public it looked ordinary. But what most people didn't know was that sometimes this train carried money. And in 1963, Britain was facing a serious cash shortage in London banks. So the state bank made a decision. Large sums of cash would be transported quietly across the country by train. That night, in the last two coaches, were 128 sealed boxes. Inside them, 2.6 million pounds, worth nearly $300 million today. The date was secret. The route was confidential. Everything was classified. Except someone on the inside knew. There was a criminal in England. He'd done petty thefts, kidnappings, small jobs. He had a crew of 3. They had money, but they wanted one final score. A robbery so big that they'd never have to commit another crime again. But a robbery of this scale needed planning. And that's when they heard about the Royal Mail train. They knew money moved through it. The only problem was when. That question launched the Great Train Robbery. They began recruiting specialists, men with train experience, criminals who had robbed before. People the police had never caught soon, they found 3 professionals. The crew grew to 7, still not enough. They needed a man who could drive a train, a technician who understood railway signals. Money convinced both. Slowly, the team expanded. Now they were 15 men strong. But one piece was missing: inside information. Banks never announce when cash is being moved. Eventually, a railway employee agreed to talk. He gave them the date, August 7th, 1963. A train would leave Glasgow at 7 p.m., heading to London. A 12-hour journey, 12 cars total, 2 coaches carrying 92 postal workers sorting mail, and at the back, those 128 boxes filled with 2.6 million pounds. Now, everything was set. The train rolled through the night. At 3 a.m., about 40 miles outside London, in a remote stretch of countryside. That was the location. The crew waited with an old Range Rover and a military truck. First step, change the signal. They covered the green light and used a battery and bulb to create a fake red signal. The driver saw red. It didn't make sense. But he stopped the train anyway. And that's when history changed. Some men rushed to the engine. They threatened the driver. Keep moving slowly, or you're dead. No guns, no knives, just iron rods. Others went straight to the rear coaches. Every box was locked. They expected that. They had practiced. One by one, the locks were smashed open. The postal workers were asleep. When the train reached the spot where the truck was parked, in just 15 minutes, every box was transferred. The driver was told, "Go," and the train rolled on. By morning, the entire country knew. Britain's largest train robbery, 2.6 million pounds stolen. A massive investigation began. Nothing. Then on August 13th, 1963, a local resident reported strange activity near a farmhouse 30 miles from the robbery site. Police raided it. They found 20 empty boxes. Fingerprints were collected. and the arrests followed. Within 10 days, 12 men were captured. In 1964, 11 received 30-year sentences. The remaining 3 were arrested in 1968. Police recovered only 10% of the money. The rest, gone. In 1971, British currency changed. Any remaining cash became worthless paper. Years later, one robber gave an interview and revealed the insider's name, but it was too late. The man was already dead. The law could do nothing. To this day, no one knows. Where did the rest of the money go? Was it ever spent? What we do know is this. No train robbery before or since has ever matched its scale, and that's why the Great Train Robbery of 1963 remains one of the most brilliant and mysterious crimes in history. If you enjoyed this story, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more real crime stories. We'll see you in the next one.